So you mentioned emotions, present and aware. So in psychotherapy supports someone to process emotions. So just by talking about it, sometimes
It's enough to
it's
release
enough.
that negative
So
energy.
you're sharing the load. And while you're sharing the emotions, sometimes you start understanding something by yourself already. Then the psychotherapist supports you to, or challenges you with a simple question. Okay, so you were sad and you were crying, and the narrative, the story was, why am I crying again? I'm always crying, I'm always failing, full stop. Have you considered speaking to yourself in another way? That is a very simple question, but it's supporting or challenging the person to find another way. And that's what change is in therapy. You are just considering, trying, or implementing something which before wasn't there. It wasn't in your toolbox. So that's just talking or a simple question. Processing can happen in the body as well. So I can ask the client, where are you feeling the anxiety? In my chest. And by creating more awareness of what's going on in the body, we can stay a bit more with it inside of us.
You make it physical.
You make it more
tangible.
real. Exactly, you make it more tangible. So where is it? Where is your anxiety? In my chest. How big is it? My whole chest. Does it have a form? Yes, it's like a ball and it has some spikes. And with this questioning, and then stay with it. Gestalt Psychotherapy is, I'm really passionate about it. Even other psychologists or counselors, they use different methods. It's very creative. So sometimes we create dialogue with our body and with our anxiety. What is the anxiety trying to tell you? You know, you can even become the anxiety. So I am the anxiety, I am in Wayne's chest, and I'm telling him, listen, something is not right when you are going to speak in public. I'm going into a bit of detail because I would like to share what happens in psychotherapy since we have the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure.
Then the therapist asks them, okay, so, and then you ask the person, what can support you to feel good or prepared or less anxious before you go to speak in public? And then the client, the person, comes up with some ideas that work for them.
Yeah.
Psychotherapy is not about telling the client what to do. Many people think it's this way. It's a very big misconception. And as therapists, we avoid as much as possible to give any kind of advice. Why? Because the advice I give you is mine, not yours. It's built completely on my experience, not on yours. How can I give you a method which is just mine without you exploring what can work for you? You can explore it in a week or two, in a few weeks, but isn't it better if you start with your own potential method that works for you?
There's power in that.
Yes. Yes, it's very powerful. So psychotherapists are, through questions and explorations, you can find a new way, a fresh way, a better way. And then the client, the person says, yes, before I start speaking in public, maybe I can take someone with me. I can rehearse. And then you start implementing these things. You are refining your tools in your toolbox for when you go and speak in public. You are refining your tools in your toolbox when anxiety comes up. It could be breathing in your chest. While breathing, you breathe inside your chest. It's like almost visualizing your breath going in your chest. It could be grounding yourself. So these are just a couple of ways how we can process emotions and things. And if we go to how to be present and aware, it can also be with psychotherapy, and because psychotherapy also supports you to adopt new coping skills, that if a difficult thought comes in your mind, I'm a failure, I can't make it, or dana, you become immediately more aware of them. You know? To give a clear example, we have a lot of noise in our brain, and it's like a background TV which is on. So if you are in a room and the TV is on and you're doing something else, you realize that the TV is on either when you stop, this is bothering me, or when you switch it off. When you switch it off, the immediate silence afterwards helps you realize how loud the TV was, perhaps. And this is the same thing. When you are exploring these things with a professional, with a psychotherapist, you are fine-tuning yourself to be aware of these incoming thoughts. So that's the general. Then you can also practice. So if you take a bit more of a mindful approach through mindfulness, you can practice. Are you aware when you eat? Oh yes, of course, I'm aware when I eat. Oh yes. Yes, but are you aware of the flavors? Are you aware of each and every bite you are taking? Are you aware of the smell, of the freshness, of the warmth of the food, of the texture of the food? No, people usually answer, no, I sometimes start eating.
You just eat and that's it.
I just eat on my desk or wherever, and I don't even know what I ate almost.
Yeah.
So a very simple way is to be more mindful of your everyday actions without getting lost in background thinking. People talk about we're addicted to drinking, addicted to smoking. In my personal opinion, we are addicted to thinking, but it is so normal, so widespread, that we feel that it's something normal.
In what sense, addicted to thinking?
That if I ask you or anyone else, can you stop thinking for 5 minutes completely? Just 5 minutes, not 24 hours, 5 minutes.
And how would that be?
And I'm saying not that thoughts don't come in, but that you are not affected by your thoughts. To put it a bit simpler, in our mind we talk to ourselves.
Yeah.
So there's this background voice always commenting, judging, labeling. If I tell you, can you silence that voice for 5 minutes? And if that voice comes in, you just see it for what it is. It's just a thought which came in, but it's not you. It's something that came in your field of awareness. How can I put it even a bit more simpler?